Hey everybody, what is going on? David here, Butler Outdoors. Just got back from the property. It's 9:15, Sunday night, August the 8th. Man, I'm whooped. Got a lot done though. It was a good day. Got two of my fall plots in. My bottom food plot. If you guys have seen any of my videos, you've probably seen it. I got it cleaned up. It had a bunch of fallen trees in there. When I made that plot, I had hacked and squirt and girdled several of the bigger trees when I was clearing it out. And 3 or 4 of those had come down early this spring, last winter, and I'd gotten a couple of them cleaned up, just hadn't had a chance to get the rest of them. So I got it planted. I went ahead and broadcast the seed, and then took the chainsaw, sectioned all those logs off, drug them out of there. So doing that kind of acts as a cultipacker. Instead of doing the seed afterwards, I figured I'd do it first, because I knew my tail would be whipped by the time I got done moving all those logs. So got it done. Swapped cards on all my cameras. I got a little small food plot that I'd kind of let go, hadn't done anything with the last couple of years. Went ahead and got it planted. Both of these guys are no-till applications, and with these fall plots, I didn't use a cultipacker. I didn't use a roller, anything. Simply broadcast the seed. The smaller of the 2 food plots, I took the Ranger and I just drove over everything in there, knocked it down nice and flat, and then went in and sprayed with Roundup. So, I mean, situation like that, anybody can do this type of food plot, guys. It doesn't take equipment. If you guys are on a tight budget, don't have equipment, don't have access to equipment, get you a cheap little hand spreader, get you some seed, and you can, do a plot like that. You don't even need a Ranger. You can go in and stomp it down, with your feet if you have to. It'll take a while, but the concept's the same. So anybody can do those type of plots. So if you're sitting at home saying, "Oh, well, it must be nice," all these guys got access to equipment and got big bucks, meaning money. This guy don't. So if I can do it, you guys can do it. That's one thing I pride myself on is any of the videos I make or any of the suggestions I give. It's because I've done it, or I can do it myself. I don't have to hire or pay somebody to do it for me. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy the videos. I'm going through trail camera pictures right now, so if there's anything good, I'll throw it in there. There was a couple of pretty cool encounters today with some critters I'll put in there. So make sure you stay tuned. There one in particular, I think I've only seen one other time in my entire almost 42 years on this planet. So it's worth watching. If you guys like it, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check out my website, Facebook page. I'm on Instagram too. So Butler Outdoors. All right, guys, enjoy. Hey, what is up, everybody? David here, Butler Outdoors. As you can see behind me, I've got this overgrown food plot. I put this food plot in several years ago. It's been mainly clover, but I let it kind of get overgrown this year. I didn't do anything this spring. There's still quite a bit of clover in it, but what I'm going to do today, I'm going to do a no-till planting. I've got a mix of oats, wheat, winter peas, and then brassicas and turnips. So I'm going to do this the same method as I did my soybeans this spring. I'm going to broadcast, then I'm going to come through, and instead of rolling, it's a little hard to get a roller back here. I'm going to just use my Polaris Ranger and drive everything over, get it knocked down really well, and then spray it with some glyphosate. So This is a really small food plot. It's probably, oh, maybe a 32nd of an acre. Um, but it basically, I put it in here to complement a pretty good stand location. I've got a stand up here to my left. I'll show you guys here in a second. And basically what this area is, it's a very corner of my property, and it's kind of sectioned off, I guess you could say, by a really steep and deep ravine that's just on the other side of my stand here. The ravine's probably 60 to 70 foot deep and very steep, so the deer only come up and down in a few select spots, one of which is right here about 30 yards from the stand. So I've come in here and I've done some TSI over the last few years, so it's really thickened it up. You know, and then like I said, I've got this food plot here, so we'll get it planted. It's August 8th. It's a little early for Central Illinois. I normally wait till, you know, the last week of August or so. But looking at my schedule, I'm going to be pretty busy the next couple of weeks, and we are calling for rain tonight, and I think the next 3 days there's a pretty good chance of rain, so it should be fine. So stay tuned. We'll get this planted, and I'll keep you guys updated. Guys, all the seed is broadcast. So next step, I've got some sticks and some logs in here. I'm going to go ahead and get cleaned up, but then I'm going to roll everything over with my Ranger tires, get the vegetation knocked down pretty good, get some seed to soil contact, and then we'll come in and we'll spray glyphosate with the backpack sprayer. So I'll go ahead and pan over here, and I'll show you the tree stand I was telling you about. It's just right over here on the edge of the plot. Normally I don't like having, there we go. Got that ladder stand up in that big oak tree there. Normally I don't like having stands or blinds right on food plots. Tend to spook a lot of deer that way. They come in and they'll stay till after dark when you have to get out. But this one's so small, and where it's located, it's more of a kind of a staging area as the deer move across, heading north to the ag fields in the evening. So normally deer don't stay in here until after dark. They'll be right at dark, and then they'll head across the road. So all right, guys, so I'm gonna get this cleaned up and then run everything over. Stay tuned. All right, so everything is rolled or ran over. The Ranger did a good job. A lot of the stuff you can kind of see standing still down there is really woody stuff. Some young cottonwood, other woody type species. Like I said, I hadn't done anything with this plot. I don't think I did anything last year with it. I kind of let it grow up. So it's starting to regenerate and get into that, early successional type stages, which is good. I mean, there was a lot of good browse in there. There was pokeweed. Like I said, there was clover from when it was a food plot. Um, a variety of different things in there, and you can see where the deer had been in there browsing quite a bit. I actually kicked a little baby rabbit out of there too, so that's good. Um, but as you can see, everything's ran over good. I'm going to go ahead and spray it, and that'll be it. You know, we're talking 30 minutes, you know, 45 minutes. And granted, as far as being an established food plot, I'd already cleared out a lot of the canopy here to get adequate sunlight in here. But, you know, as far as the work to get it in, guys, it doesn't take a whole lot. And it doesn't take a whole lot of equipment. So you can put in something small like this, and it'll be a good attractor for a stand site. I mean, deer aren't going to flock from miles away to come to a little food plot like this, but if they're in the general area, it can be a magnet for them. Or if you're putting it in a location that they're already traveling through, it's almost a sure bet they're going to swing by and grab a bite to eat, which could present you with a shot. You know, may mainly be does in here till the rut, but if the does are in here, there's going to be a buck in here sooner or later. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and spray. We'll get that done, and then I'll show you the ravine crossing I was talking about earlier, and why this spot's good. You know, it's a natural pinch point bottleneck, so it's a pretty impressive crossing. They've got it cut out, but I'll show you guys here in a little bit. All right, guys, you can see the food plot there. There's the ranger, and we're about 15 yards from the stand right there. And we've got one crossing coming up out of this ravine. You can kind of see how it angles down in there. And that's a pretty good one. But you can see how deep this ravine is. And if you look across, the other side's even taller. So, but this is one, like I said, this is about 15 yards from the stand, but then we'll go up here. Oh, for any of you guys that like to do mock scrapes, I know the whole rope scrape is a fad right now, but you don't have to pay for rope. If you guys have any grapevines, you can cut section of those. They work really well. The whole rope thing, I get it for scrapes, you know, that you don't have a good overhanging branch or something, you know, that's at the right height. But there's no sense in paying for something unless you have to, and most of the time you don't have to. All right, so here's another crossing here, guys. You can see where the deer have got it kind of side hilled all the way down there. And this is a good one too, because the stand, we're probably 25 yards from the stand there. See back in the oak tree there. So that's crossing number 2. And then we'll go down here. You can see the trail I'm following here, but we don't even have to make it all the way down there. You can see the main one down there, but they've got this thing carved out. So you can see, I mean, all this erosion and everything, that's all from the deer. And they, like I said, they side hill it because this thing's so steep. You know, there's one that kind of goes down that way, but you know, it's probably 60, 70 foot down and really steep. It's steep enough to where you essentially have to hang on to the trees and crawl up, because it's pretty dang steep, guys. But anyway, so we're about 35 yards, I think. You can see the stand right there. So This is about 35 yards. You know, the deer come up and voila, there's a shot right here. Like I was saying with the vines, I put one right here last year and had a mock scrape here. It got some attention, but not a tremendous amount. So I'll probably doctor it up again this year, simply for the fact it's a good spot to, you know, get a deer to pause, if nothing else. But yeah, these deer, they come up out of this ravine and they head through there and then on across the road to the ag fields and the feed. They did used to go through here. So if they would come up at this spot, they would turn and walk dead away from the stand. So you would never have a shot. So what I did is I hinged a lot of this stuff, and you can still see it's all growing really well, and created basically a natural fence. So, I mean, can a deer get through there? Well, yeah, sure. I mean, a deer can go wherever he wants to, but for the most part, they don't go through there now. They come up and then they follow this trail through there. And as you can see, I hinged quite a bit of this stuff, laid it over, and gave them a nice easy path to walk through. But you know, it's nice and thick in here now that I've done some TSI work, but the work's never done. So, all right, guys, that is this stand location. It sets up real well for a north wind, northwest or west. We're facing south right now, so a north wind blows from these main crossings to the stand. West kind of blows over the top of the end of the food plot, over the bottom there, so nothing's gonna smell you. But so yeah, that'll be it for this spot. We'll see how things turn out with this food plot, and I'll keep you guys updated. But really, guys, it's that simple. You got small seed like the brassicas and turnips. Those are really easy. I mean, you can see all the bare dirt I've got in here. You know, you can spread that type of seed on bare dirt and the rain will bury it enough to get good germination. And we all know oats and wheat and those small grains, they grow, heck, they'll even grow in the back of your pickup truck bed if you spill some. So this should turn out pretty good. Let me know what you think. Like it, subscribe. There'll be more to come, guys. Butler Outdoors. We're out.